Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Hydra, and this is Rust Console Edition. Are you ready for what I have in store for you today? Well, if so, then like, subscribe, and follow me. This episode is all about Tesla coils. I have three different setups to show you guys, and a bunch of different ways that you can use these Tesla coils, and a bunch of others. A little bit of information for you guys about them. A lot of people have been asking, so I figured this would be a great place to start in my add-on series. So the very first thing that we have over here is going to be one of your more basic setups. So the absolute most basic setup you can have is actually going right from your switch here to your splitter and then out to your three Tesla coils from a large battery. And the reason why you want to do it from a large battery is because you want to be outputting at least 30 to 35 off of these things. It is going to degrade them a little bit faster, but it's also going to kill people a lot faster. So the less reaction time they have to not counteract this, the better. So you want to have three. You want to have them discharging at the max rate, as high as you can, but they don't go above 35. So I'm pretty sure it's 35. So that's why you have three of them connected to a large battery and a switch. That's going to be your most basic setup. You pull the switch, the Teslas go off. You pull the switch again, the Teslas turn off. Um, but that's not why you guys come to my channel. You guys come to my channel for actual builds. So let's show you an actual build. So um, I highly recommend that you watch my megawatt video, the 1600 plus or 1500 plus power video. I highly recommend that you watch that video and that you set up that battery system. I also have the mini version right here. This is the mini version or the starter version because this expands out into the megawatt. So this is kind of like the mini watt right here. So all of my systems are going to start from an OR switch or an OR switch, except for the one that I have over there. I have a little trap base set up. Well, it's not necessarily a trap base, but it's like it's mostly for solos, duos, and it's also a little bit of a trap base kind of setup. So I'll show you that over there. But so all of my systems start on an OR switch from either the mini watt or the megawatt. So from there we have just a regular switch um, because we only want this to be active when we want it to be active, and these things are loud and annoying sometimes. So, but why do we have this heartbeat sensor? Well, this heartbeat sensor can actually be used in a couple of different ways, which is why I have three different things that we can connect this heartbeat sensor to. Because the heartbeat sensors are really only good for activating things rather than actually sending power through them, because they only send as much power through them as there are people in front of them. And if it has that much power, so say you give this thing 5 power and 5 people stand in front of it, 5 power will go through. But if only one person stands in front of it, only 1 power will go through, and that other 4 power will be wasted. So it's really not good to use as a pass-through. It's really only good for activating and deactivating things. So there's a couple of ways that we can do that. So um, there's the way that we have it set up right now is we have everything set up to an AND switch. So our main power is coming in, it's going through our switch. We turn everything on, which is this black line, by the way. Our main power is this black line. So we're following our black line. It's going in into this electrical branch, and then it's continuing off into this AND switch. All right, so we see it's getting 92 power. However, it's not coming out because in order for an AND switch to work, both this side and this side have to be receiving power. and only once both of those are receiving power will we get 3 green lights, and then it'll allow this power to get passed through because it'll send through the highest power amount. So once this recognizes somebody, so I'm going to now include myself on this. I'm going to pretend I'm a bad guy. It activates the Tesla coils, and then as soon as they die, it turns back off. Now, you want to set up your Tesla coils strategically. I'll show you how to do that later on. But that's basically it. As soon as this thing sees them, your Tesla coils turn on, because it's now sending that one power into here, which is lighting up our green lines and allowing all of that power to be passed through. And then we're getting 30 power out of each. So we're killing people pretty quickly. So that's how you set up this heartbeat system. So if you walk into the range of this heartbeat, or a bad guy walks into the range of this heartbeat, it'll set off these Tesla coils. Now, one thing I like to do is I like to, actually I'll get into that in a second. Now, the other way you can do this is you can use this as, say, a dead man switch. So, sorry, give me 1 second here. So you can use this as a dead man switch. So in order to do that, we're going to hook this up to the XOR switch, meaning one or the other can receive power, but not both. So with the system off, actually I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to go include authorized and turn it off. So now we're going to set this up a little bit different. So we're going to clear these two. Now our main power is again going to run into that same B side that we had before on this one. But now our power out on this is now going to activate our A side on this one instead. Activate our A side. And we're going to disconnect this. So this is your dead man switch or your last stand switch. So while this is seeing me right now, hold on, let me make sure this is, okay. So let's turn this back on. So you saw that go off for a brief second. So while this is seeing me, these Tesla coils are off. So I'm in my bunker, and they're getting into this part of the base now, right? I'm fighting them, and then I die. And then as soon as I die, my Tesla coils go on. And they're going to stay on until I walk back in front of this. So if I spawn back in on a bag, they'll turn off. It might take a second, you might take a little bit of damage, but it'll turn off, and then you're good to go, and then they're off. And then should you die again, the Tesla coils will turn back on, and they'll continue going until they're no longer viable. So if you're going to use this as a dead man switch, then I would reduce how much power you're putting through these by like half to 15, so you can get extended time out of their use. So this you really only want to turn on if you're right at the, like, if you know you're being raided and they're down near your core, this can be your dead man switch. However, I still prefer to use the AND switch and just have this sense others instead. So if they do come here, it'll go on until they kill them, and then it'll turn off. So that is preferred over this. But this does have some uses, and some people will prefer this, so you can also do it this way. However, can I get on target practice? Yeah, but I think that's on testing branch. I'm currently on main branch right now. But in my opinion, the best way to do this is actually to do it this way. Um, it's actually to use a timer, in my opinion. So we're going to grab our black line, and we're going to continue to go out. And then this is going to now take over this spot. And then going to repower this. I wasn't supposed to disconnect this one. It's actually perfect. There we go. So now, if we turn this on, sorry, gotta give that a second. Okay, so 5 seconds is, 10 seconds is a little long. Usually 5 to 7 seconds is enough to kill most people, especially if you're giving these full juice. But what you're doing for this one is you're going to um, include others. So if somebody triggers this, it's going to trigger the timer, and then the timer is going to go off for 5 to 7 seconds, however long you set it. And I find that that's better because then they can't just sit there and constantly spam your Tesla coils, and it's going to give them the most longevity. They're going to survive the longest, right? So I'm going to, here, I'll show you. So this thing picks them up. Right, we're going to include authorize. So that picked me up. The Tesla coils go off for 5 seconds, 7 seconds. The guy dies, and then they turn it off. And then if it picks someone else up again, it does the same thing, right? So it has to cycle. So rather than the downside, so this one, you have to be in front of it, and if you die, then they stay on all the time. This one is they have to go in front of it, but if they find a spot in front of it, and they don't, and they're not being hurt, then they can kill your Tesla coils pretty easily. But with this one, even if they find that same spot, they have to. It takes a lot longer for them to destroy your Teslas because they have to go in and out of that spot. So that is how I prefer and my preferred method for setting up Tesla coils. If you're just going to do it on, this is best for inside bases. In my opinion, because you can have this hidden around a corner somewhere, and as soon as they go around that corner, they get trapped by these. So this is what I believe to be best for inside bases. This one I believe to be best for outside of the base and for your compounds. Um, yeah, this is more of a compound build, I would say, or like shooting floors, or bigger, wider, open spaces. That's what this is for. And because of that, I've also hooked it up to 9 different Tesla traps. So for this one, it's a lot like this one. Again, you can hook it up to the AND switch, just like this one. Or you can hook it up to the timer. Again, I prefer the timer. Now, on this one, we actually have 2 heartbeat sensors. These are a little close to each other. They should be at least a foundation apart, or they should be at least a foundation, maybe even a foundation and a half apart, because what you want is you want to have between 1 to 3 seconds of people moving in between this one picking them up and this one picking them up. All right, so let's say, for example, I know most people are going to be coming from this way, right? I want that one to be closer. It's going to pick me up, right? I want it to pick me up right where my first Tesla coil is, and you want to hide these. So that one I want to pick me up, and then just as I'm getting past a couple of Tesla coils, one or two Tesla coils, right? I want the second one to pick me up. And then just after the second one picks me up, um, I want the timer to stop off of the first one because this is a delay system. So without that, if I was using that first system and I was using it outside, you would walk up and you would have your Tesla coil set up. It would register you, right? And then you would be able to turn around and run away and avoid all the other Tesla coils. But with this system, you can walk up, it will register you, it'll set a 3 to 5 second delay timer, right? The second one will pick you up, and you need at least a second in between that one and that one. Otherwise, these will turn on for a split second beforehand, so people will have an idea that they're there. So that's why you want that little bit of a delay. So you come in here, it picks you up by the first one. You have a 2-3 second delay on your timer. Your second thing is picking you up, and then by the time that first timer is done, your second timer activates for 10 seconds. So if they try to go this way, these Tesla coils are getting them. If they try to go this way, then these Tesla coils are trying to get to them. So it's going to kill them no matter what. So that's what that delay is for. So this is picking them up. It's setting a 3-second delay. This one's picking them up, and then it's setting off the 10-second timer in order to set everything off. But anyway, so this is an XOR switch, so we'll allow one or the other to pass through, but not both at the same time. If both of these are activated, then nothing's going through. So it works the exact opposite as this AND switch over here. So while this timer is activated, right? So here, we'll do it this way. So it's going to pick up the bad guy on this one, and it's going to activate this timer. All right, and then just a second later, so we're going to exclude, and then so include authorized, and then include authorized, and then now they're both active, so now they can't go, but then that timer stops, and this timer continues killing the people until the timer turns off. Now if I was to leave and come back, so I'll even set this to 2 seconds. Okay, so I guess that pretty much is far apart. So you have to have at least half a tile apart. So I'm coming in here, right? I get a chance to run into here, and then boom, I get hit with a Tesla. Ah, how do I get out? And then I'm dead. Versus if I was to do this one, so here, let's, which is going to turn on right when I walk up to it, and then I can run away from it. All right, that's no good. So that's only good inside and for around corners, and then this one's really good for outside, out in your compounds. So they can get inside the Tesla coils before they get set off. You could even probably set this to a 1-second timer, but you're going to want a 2 or 3 if you're in the compound because they're going to come over the wall, right, and then run a little bit. So you want to make sure that you got like a 1 or 2 second delay. so they can't just run back out. Um, yeah. So I'll quickly just stand here for a second so you guys can see both of these, and then I'll go show you my trap-based design. Slash, um, solo, duo, emergency, panic, Tesla trap. This way you guys can see where all the electricity is flowing. What is with all those shop fronts? Oh, I'll show you all those shop fronts here in a second. And then here is everything without. If you guys want to take screenshots. And so my screenshots. This is actually my pet fish. This is Andy. Everybody say hello to Andy, my pet fish. He was I've been streaming for like 3-4 hours now, and he was griefing me for about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour. And then when he finally logged off, I built this little shed around him, so now he's my little fish. Little fishy Andy. So yeah, so I built a little viewing thing for him. Okay, so now obviously don't build this base, right? This isn't a base that you actually want to build, but this is something that was cheap and easy for me to give you guys a perfect example of just exactly how to set this up. So I'm using this as like a solo duo setup. It's got a single large battery in there. You can have one wind turbine or a bunch of solar panels. In fact, you want to have this many solar panels. You want to have 8 solar panels, 3 facing east, 3 facing west, 1 south, 1 north. Watch my updated solar and wind placement video, and then you can also see how you can set these up really easily. So you can keep the upkeep costs down on your base, and you can spread these out a little bit better. But anyway, that's not why you guys are here. So yeah, so I've got 2 turrets set up right here. I've got another turret set up right here. And then I've got like just a little setup, right? Again, don't actually set this up. And then I have a little loot room, and then I have some wiring here. So basically, all this is this right here, minus that button. So this right here is we got our power coming in, so we don't have our OR switch in this one because we're only using a single battery. But we've got a power coming into our memory cell. It's then going out our output into our electrical branch. And then from our electrical branch, it's going out into our sensor. And then from our sensor, it's going out into this timer. And then in order to power our timer, we have the right side of our electrical branch powering our timer. And that's going out, and that's powering our Tesla traps. So if you follow the red line, that's our Tesla trap line. So it goes from here up to here into our electrical branch, out here into our timer, from our timer into our splitter, and then from our splitter into there. And then all we're doing is we're splitting off a little bit of extra 2 extra power into our heartbeat sensor, and then that is running into our timer, which is activating and triggering our timer. We're going to get into this button here and this stuff up here in just a second. Actually, no, we should get into that now because I'm going to need to activate this anyway. So what this is it's going to, because I don't want this Tesla trap activated all the time. If I'm building something like this as either a trap base, or if I'm building something like this as my main base and I just want to protect my inner core, then I want to be able to run all my turrets, and I want to be able to run all my lights and everything like that, and whatever else whatever else I want to run on the inside of my base here. I want to be able to run. Now, only when all of my turrets are blown up on the outside of my base, and they're starting to get in here, and they've blown up this door, they've blown up my turret here. Now, this is the rest of the base that I want to protect, right? Is these few squares here. So now we're in panic mode. So now we're trying to protect this area. We're down here. We're all kitted up. We're being raided like that asshole out there. We're gonna switch. Oh, he may have. Fishy woke up. Ah, hi, Fishy. Hi, Fishy. Ah, annoying little fuck. Uh, um, so this is the part of the base we want to protect now. All of that stuff is blown up. So now we're going to push this button, and by pushing this button, we're going to toggle the memory cell, because right now all of our power is being sent out our inverted output up into our electrical tree. And I just have a simple, I just have my lights set up here. This is for my turrets, right? So my turrets are set up here, and then I have this remaining power left over to play with, right? But now all of my turrets are being destroyed. I'm being raided. Now I'm going to switch over and push this button. And give me a second. As you can see, it gets kind of crazy in here. Okay, so what I just did was I switched the power going from there, so I don't have to worry about powering my turrets anymore. I turned off all my lights, my secondary systems, and now all of my power is now being sent out into here, which is running the system that we built out there. So I have one Tesla trap set up right here. I have one Tesla trap set up right here. And then I have another Tesla trap set up over behind this box. You can barely see it, but it's right there. Right, so I have 3 Tesla traps set up in here, and they're all pumping out 30 power when they go off. So they're going to kill people within a couple of seconds. And then I have my heartbeat sensor right here. So as soon as they get around this corner, right, and it's important that it's up in that corner and not that corner, because if you notice, the heartbeat sensor could be there. And I want them to go as deep as possible and as close to those 2 Teslas as I can. So as soon as they get around the corner, that Tesla is going to go off, this Tesla is going to go off, and this Tesla is going to go off. So if they go this way, they're getting hit by both those Teslas. If they go this way, they're getting hit by both of these Teslas. And they're not going to have enough time to make it out of this thing before they end up dying. All right, so here, I'll show you. So we'll include authorized. And I have it set up on a 10-second timer, too. Woo! So if I go, once I peek around the corner, boom. Now no matter where I go, I'm screwed. And this is how you're going to protect your core. And then as soon as you're done, you can switch back over to your other power, and now all of your stuff is running and your Tesla coils are off. So that's how you can do a bit of a trap base. This is my timer. Oh, he got out. He respawned. Yeah, he killed himself. Poor fishy. But yeah, so that is that's the different ways that you can do it. That is exactly what you saw in there, minus these 2 pieces. It's just this, 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 and this. That's all you need. And then if you're working off of a single battery, that is where you put your memory cell, and then you just hook up a battery to your toggle. And then look at that, it just activated because he ran by it. That's some crazy shit. But yeah, so I hope you guys liked this. If you did, if you want to see anything else, leave me a comment, and I can build whatever you guys want, whatever you guys need. And please subscribe. I'm really trying to get I need 500 or so more subscribers in the next couple of months. I'm really trying to get part of the partnership program. And yeah, that would really help me out, especially with custom servers coming out. I will be renting one. So if I can make a little bit of money off of my YouTube, then I can use that to support my custom server, which I think all of you guys will enjoy. I'll have more updates on that soon.